Because my friend works as a hospital administrator, and they have a similar process for ranking the hospitals in the city, and she last summer was so busy because her hospital was going for a higher ranking. So I remember she was like, I can't hang out. Our hospital's getting ready to zoom up.
That's one way to decide what your level of
Well, I'm sure like there's more money in it from the government if you get a higher ranking as a hospital. But
and I respect somebody that's just like, I don't want this. I'm fine where I am.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's the greatest. That's why everybody goes to the #1 hospital. But
yeah, hospitals.
You did.
It's #1.
#1. That's why we went there. That actually is why we went there.
Well, it was either that or go all the way to Chengdu.
Yeah, which would just seemed like a nightmare.
That's a 4-hour ride. We weren't getting any helicopters.
Yeah.
No chopper coming in.
Well, they're like, we'll give you an ambulance to transport you to Chengdu.
We've seen the ambulances. They're bread trucks.
Yeah. No, they're okay. They're decent ambulances, but it would not have been a nice ride. And the big factor was I'd have to get a hotel or stay in the hospital with you. And at that point, it was still like we didn't know how long you'd need to be in the hospital. So I was like, I need at least the certainty at the end of the day I can go home to my apartment. And I have friends here who are helping me. I don't have friends in Chengdu. They wanted to turf you so bad, though. I fought really hard not to get transferred to Chengdu.
It was, if
that anniversary's coming up too.
Being at the Luzhou hospital, I feel like, I mean, as tough as it was, it might have been just as tough there for all we know, but like the fact that it was the Luzhou hospital, and it's our city, it felt that, I mean, at least everyone is familiar with it around, like the taxi cab drivers know how to get there, so you could go.
Well, and I know how to get there.
Yeah.
That was the big thing. There was like a certain amount of caring for your comfort, but then like I also needed to, the best decision for me was not to go to a completely strange city.
Plus we knew some of the people that worked there, some of them even being students.
Yeah. And like, for some reason, the friends I've made here, the local friends I've made here, are a lot of them work in hospitals. So we did have like I don't know if you remember this, but we had a parade of people coming through,
I vaguely remember.
checking up
like,
on
these people,
the work being done with you.
Being a Chinese hospital, I didn't know if there were people that we knew, if there was just a parade of.
Right, because then sometimes it would be like they were our students who had graduated and now are like studying at the hospital. That happened a couple times too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's like what kind of kept me sane was that I had people around who at least I knew. And I guess that was my friend's ways of helping when I was like, you know, come keep me company. And they're like, yeah, and I'll bring by the head nurse from our program just to like see how you're doing. And some of them like yelled at your staff.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, you're not doing this, you're not doing this.
Well, that's what I think is, because if we'd gone to Chengdu, where there's like thousands and thousands of foreigners also, like, and it's a place we don't know, we would have been lost in the scrum completely. Whereas
the thing about the Chengdu hospital too is they had a foreigner VIP program that cost like American hospital costs. It means you get to jump the lines and you get maybe a more comfortable room, but like. It was still very expensive for you to. It was total 10 weeks in the hospital, but it was Chinese prices, whereas it would have like bankrupted everyone if we had gone to Chengdu and done the VIP program. I think.
Oh, we're stronger for staying in.
Yeah, and I mean like when they were like, well, if you join this program, you could cut the lines. I'm like, in Luzhou, there's no lines. I mean, there's lines, but
that now. Years later that we go back on a regular basis, not just for me but for you too.
Yeah, that was like our icebreaker into Chinese healthcare, and now we like go to doctor's appointments.
We know the right elevators to use, we know the right doctors to try to get a hold of, the right departments, so that actually, as our local hospital, actually helped out for the future.
Yeah, well,
so
and it means Yeah, it means that we can get healthcare instead of like saving it all up and having to go back to America.
Unfortunately, they don't have any cool presents in the gift shop that you could buy.
No, they do have like a little mini supermarket,
Yeah,
but
would it be great though?
you
Like
get
for
all
your,
the
your
bed
dad,
pans.
they had like a Lucho International college tee sweatshirt.
Oh, he would love that. They don't have that though.
Yeah.
And they might not have one big enough.
True.
My dad's 6'4".
You get a couple of them and
Sew them
sew 'em
together.
up. Some kind of Frankenstein college medical institute. Yeah. My daughter got this for me. I don't know what she's doing with her life.
She doesn't go to this. The hospital is the university hospital. She doesn't go to the university. She went there as a patient. Which is also funny is that the taxis all the time, because that's the other big nexus of foreigners in our city is they have a foreigner program for doctors, medical students, so that when I say we're going to the hospital, they're like, oh, are you a doctor there? Oh no, we're just going to the hospital. I'm a patient.
Yeah.
But